Okay, okay, okay. It says that we're live, okay? And you know me. I'm grateful to be here before I start my intro. Shout out to everybody over on YouTube. Yo, truly appreciate you. But I was out working last night, lost my voice again. So I just regained some of my voice. So you're gonna see, I sound like I had 16 Newports last night and 17 marijuana joints. But I stay totally committed to this endeavor. We are here. I only got a few hours of sleep, and I'm not going back to sleep yet. Too many things to do today. So now that I got that out the way, which I'll revisit in a moment, like my mother always say, thank God. My energy's there. My energy's there. This is my voice is going. I sound real. I got a raggedy voice right now. Uh, Guys, like my mother always say, thank God for Jesus. It is a feel good Friday, June the 27th, 2025. 4 minutes after the hour, guys. Excuse me for being late. Shawn Harvey Mornings. This is the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team. Only place on this entire planet where you get your morning started right. I hope, and I say this every morning and I mean it. I just hope everyone's out okay. Everyone's doing well. I hope you guys are blessed, highly favored. I hope you're protected by your universe, and I hope your families as well. Uh, Please like, share, follow, subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team. That chat room is open. You know, the chat room is popping. The chat room is always popping in the mornings on the Wake the F Up Monday. Oh, I forgot to put the banner up. Oh, man, guys, wait, I forgot. I forgot to put the banner up. Oh, my God. Wait, guys, give me a second. Give me 1 second. I forgot to put the banner up. Give me a second. Hold on, guys. Okay, okay. Let me make sure I got this right. Wait. Let me make sure. Give me a second. Okay, I think I got this right. Okay. Oh, it's Good Friday. Thank you. Just want to make sure I got just everything right. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team. This is where you get your morning love, but most importantly, it's the only place on this entire earth where you get your morning started. Like I said, I'm in good spirits. I feel good physically, mentally, and spiritually at the moment. At the moment, that's always subject to change depending on how the day is going. Okay, but I try to the best of my ability to stay focused in the positive zone. Now, my voice and good morning, guys. God bless you guys. God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, my voice sound raggedy, because I was out working last night. If y'all don't know, I'm a stand-up comedian for real. This is not a novelty act, like for real. I'm out. I'm, as the young folks say, I'm outside. And last night, I did a show in Valley Stream, Long Island, which is on the borderline of Queens, New York. On the Conduin, I think. I forgot the name of that road. Sunrise Highway. And you go right from Queens right into Long Island, right into Valley Stream. And the club was right on the borderline. Like as soon as you come into Valley Stream, Long Island, that's the club was right there. It was called, oh my God, Hook and Reel. It was a hook and reel, a seafood Cajun restaurant that has entertainment. And last night, my good friend, one of my brothers in comedy, Rob Stapleton, hired me to be an act along to do my comedy act along with my other funny brother, one of my heroes in the game, Kareem Green, who's hilarious. I'm telling you guys, some of these comedians I look at, I'm like, I need to be funny like him. And I've known this man for almost 20 years. Shout out to my brother Kareem Green. Shout out to my brother Rob Stapleton. And when I got to Long Island, right, because it took me 3 hours. Took me 3 hours to get to Long Island from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, because of the traffic, and literally 3 hours to get back. Like it was literally like a work shift, like an 8-hour work shift. Saw some people that I haven't seen in a while. The show was amazing. Yo, Valley Stream, Queens, y'all came out, y'all showed out last night. Thank you. Then I made a quick pit stop over to Truth Lounge to see my other brother, comedian, the New York King Talent, and all the rest of my other comedic friends and family that was in the club. Said hello for 3 seconds, left, and came home. Because the club was literally around the corner. Shout out to Marlon Randolph, Marcy Smiles, and my man VJ, K Swift, and my brother Rick, the ruler. God bless. Then I came home. Got home at 3 o'clock in the morning, I think. Then couldn't sleep. Okay, enough of that. Then I wake up this morning, thank God for Jesus. And we have our special guest, Miss Shay, coming into the room. Got a few special guests. Shout out to SennyJ and also Miss Miko. They out there in the world doing their thing. And we hope that they're okay. I woke up this morning, guys. And Sister Soldier, good morning. Dow Alliance, good morning. We got another action-packed show. I lost my voice, but I'm still here because I'm 100% totally committed. I woke up this morning, the TV was on because Daryl, I don't know about you, Sister Soldier. I don't know about you. I like to sleep with the television on. D-Lo Mathis, do you like the television on when you sleep at night? Do you turn the TVs off? Is it completely dark in your room? I don't like that. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I need a lot of distractions for me to go to sleep. Even now that I live out here in Bethlehem, it's very quiet, sort of like where D-Lo Mathis lives. It's probably quiet out there where she lives in North Carolina, originally from Brooklyn, New York. And I got to sleep with the TV on. Put a number one chat room if you sleep with the TV on. Put a number two if you don't. And then I'll get up, and the first story I saw on the news, because I put it on the news. I'm an old school guy. I like to watch 5 minutes of the regular news before I get into that social media news. Big difference. And the sport apparel giant, the world's largest sport apparel company, Nike, is the world's largest sports apparel business. Nikes, the Air Force Ones, and all the other brand sneakers they have, and all the sweatsuits and hoodies that we wear from Nike. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. It's your boy. I know I'm sounding like I had 19 cigarettes this morning. That's because your favorite uncle was out there hustling last night, and I'm not stopping. I'm 60 years old, and I feel great. Let me see what this. Nike's is the world's largest apparel of sporting goods, and I just said that for the fourth time. And guess what? They are very concerned that with the Trump tariffs, that they will be paying $1 billion, $1 billion in the next fiscal year in tariffs. $1 billion, because 60 to 70% of their merchandise is made in China. Welcome to a Feel Good Friday, Shawn Harvey morning show featuring the Wake Up team. That's SennyJ and that's Miss Miko. Special guest this morning, though, is Miss Shay. She was here yesterday, remember, but we got into it yesterday. We had a great show, and folks were calling in, and we had a great topic to talk about, and it went over her interview time. But God, thank God she's back today. I'm going to interview a little bit, and then we're going to get into the madness. Princess Cox, no pause. God bless. Princess, don't forget, November, we're going out there for the 49er tailgate with my man Rob Jackson. And matter of fact, Rob Jackson and some of his people will be back on the show next week to share their experience about the Ultimate Cruise. You're not ready. And Princess, Nike is saying that because of the Trump tariffs, that there will be a $1 billion surcharge on their products because 60 to 70% of their products are made in China, which we already know from the social media bombardment by the Chinese government a couple of months ago, soliciting us folks to just bypass the main company and just buy through them. Now, how many of us, put a number one in the chat room, if you owned a pair of or any kind of Nike apparel product? I've been buying Nike all my life. My parents, my dad and my moms used to buy. They used to work so hard for me to get a pair of $19 sneakers. I remember. I don't know about you guys. I remember when the Air Force One shoe came out. I remember when they hit the streets. And I'm not gonna sit here and start tripping. I know that the shoe is delegated throughout the country probably at the same time. But I'm gonna tell you this: that Air Force One sneaker became popular in the Bronx, New York. Brooklyn, I love y'all, man. I got love for y'all, Manhattan, I love you. But when the Air Force One hit, I can't remember what year, it was like 78, 79, around that time. And then think about the longevity of the Air Force One and the Nike brand. Because they used to come out with running shoes, because Nike was more of a running company, running shoe company, for people that jog and run track. That's the original origins of Nike before we move on. But Nike has announced that the Trump's tariffs will cost them $1 billion. 60 to 70% of their gear is made in China. We've been supporting Nike for generations. Put a number one in the chat room if you ever in your life purchase a Nike product on a Feel Good Friday. Let me give myself 17 number ones. Let me give myself 17 number ones. Let me give myself 150 number ones. And how much money have we put into the Nike company? Knowing that the Air Force One, how much is the average Air Force One, Princess? I think it's $100, right? $110. How much is the Air Force One? I got 2 pairs of Air Force Ones currently. No, 3 pairs. I got 3 pairs. I got 3 pairs of Air Force Ones. But the number one chat room, if you ever purchase a pair of Air Force Ones, and 3, that's nothing. But most people that have 20 pairs, most people got the most at one time. Princess, what was the most amount of Air Force Ones you ever had at one time? I think mine was about 10 at one time. And they mark up these prices. The Air Force One really should be like the Chinese government and the officials have said, really should be a $30, $40 sneakers. And look how ironic it is. Everyone in the chat room, thank you for tuning in. Only place on this earth where you get your morning started right. Shout out to those folks in YouTube. How ironic is it for us to criticize people purchasing the bootleg Nike or the replica Nike out in the street? And you look down on these people because you want to buy the real one. But I think the fake one was the ones we should have been buying anyway. And I'm going to keep it real. On a Feel Good Friday, I'm going to keep it real. And I think I said this before, but I say it again. I, Shawn Harvey, your favorite uncle in the building, I purchased in my lifetime a replica pair of Air Force Ones. I purchased them on Market Street in Newark, New Jersey, downtown, where they sell a lot of the bootleg items comparison to Canal Street. It's the Canal Street of Newark, New Jersey. And Princess, I'm gonna keep it real. I was going to, I don't know where I was gonna land. I was going somewhere. I was doing a show. I can't remember what I was doing, but I had the outfit on and my paper was light. But I needed those. I needed the sneakers to match the outfit. But the money, I was running out of money. So I said, instead of buying 100 and spending $100 something, I went down to Market Street in Newark, New Jersey. And I copped a pair of 30, I think it was $35, all white Uptowns. Now, I didn't wear them. I wore them when I got to the airport. When I got to the airport, put them on. Welcome to the show, guys, on your place on earth. And when you get them right out the box, you can't tell. And I wore them on the plane, and I wore them in Atlanta for a little bit, and then I changed my outfit. I did the show because I was kind of like on the red eye. I had to come right back to New York. So I had my show outfit. But I didn't have my travel outfit. And I purchased, I purchased a pair of replica Air Force One. Excuse me, guys. I lost my voice last night. I'm here just trying to do my thing. I purchased a pair of replica Air Force Ones for $30. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, on a Feel Good Friday, I felt ashamed of myself. I felt like, damn, why am I doing this? To people please others. And then Nike now makes an announcement that they're going to be charged $1 billion in tariffs because they mark up the sneaker like 100% or 90%. Only take them $4 or $5 to make the shoe. By the time we get the shoe, it's $100 and something. Hold on. Source.
Yo, bro.
So hold on. Don't say that. I'm doing my podcast at the moment, so don't say anything personal.
Oh wow, sorry.
So no, that's all right. That's all right. They listening to you right now. Source, I was just talking, and I'm gonna call you after the show. Source, let me hear your opinion on this real quick. And welcome back, brother.
Hey, thank you very much for that.
And we're gonna chop it up. Source just did this thing for a week. Source, the Nike company just announced that they're having issues with the tariffs in this country because it's going to cost them $1 billion in taxes because of the Trump tariffs, right?
Right.
And I was asking everybody, because Nike is the world's largest sport apparel company, right?
Right.
And I think every one of us in our lifetime has purchased a pair of Nikes, a t-shirt or whatever. Would that be correct?
Some Uptowns.
Right. Now, Source, currently I have 3 pairs of Uptowns.
That's right.
And I think that's a low amount for some of these folks, but that's what I had.
I got white, black, and red.
Right. Yo, Source, are you serious? I got the same colors. Yeah, everybody, my one and only, my brother, DJ Hot Sauce is on the deck. Now, Sauce, I shared with these people before you called in, because I got a guest call coming in a minute, and I just want to hear your opinion on this, and then you can keep pushing, and then I'll call you after the show. Sauce. All right. One time I had a show in Atlanta, Georgia, right, and I was just sharing with them, and I had my show outfit together. But I had my travel outfit was dope, but I needed a fresh pair of Uptowns, a white pair of Air Force Ones to take it to a whole nother level, right?
Right.
But Source, my paper was light at the moment, right?
Right.
So Source, I went down to Market Street in Newark, New Jersey, which is like the Canal Street of New York.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Mm-hmm.
Right. So and on Market Street, Source, they had they're selling all the replica and all the bootleg stuff out there, right?
Right.
So it's why they had a pair of replica Air Force Ones for $35. Your Source, size 11. This nigga had my size.
Oh.
So I bought the replica Air Force Ones for $35, which fit right into my budget because I had that extra $100 to get to Atlanta until I got paid. Because I did the show and turned back around and went back home. I was back home in not even 18 hours. And so I got the Air Force Ones. I put them in the car. I got to the airport. I put them on. Now I'm walking through the airport. I'm fly and funky fresh right now with my replica Air Force Ones that nobody knew about.
Right.
And I walk with them very gently. I didn't want them to fall apart by the time I got on the plane. And then I got to Atlanta and I took them off when I was on the plane, put them back on, walked through the terminal in Hartsfield International in Atlanta, got to my locations, and I wore those Air Force Ones, and then I wore them back, back home. And I felt, in a sense, I felt like, damn, man, like I got to put on these replicas, and I felt a certain way. But Source, they cost me $35. If you go into the store, the Nikes, the Air Force Ones, I think they're 110, 100. I don't know how much they cost. I forgot.
Right. Something like that.
But Nike makes this original product, right?
Right.
It probably cost them $3 or $4 to $5 to make it. By the time we get them in the store, they're $100 and something.
Correct.
So my question to you is this. And everybody, the one and only, my brother DJ Hot Sauce is on the ones.
That's right.
Source, are you open to the fact of, because China just made an announcement that they are afraid that they're going to have to spend $1 billion in tariffs because 60 to 70% of all their merchandise is made in China?
Right.
All of it, 70% of their merchandise, that's all their merchandise, is made in China. So are you open to the fact that maybe the replica game might be the way to go with some of these replica brands, whether it's a bag, shoe, or whatever? What's your thoughts on that before we let you go, player? Welcome to the show, guys.
Well, the replica plays a big part of the game, so it shouldn't be a problem. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of these stars out here replicating their jewelry.
Ooh.
How about that? So why can't it be okay to replicate a bag, a shoe, just so you can be able to, what's the word I want to use? Entertain people.
Right.
Why not? Because it's not like it's going to be on you the whole time. You just want it for show.
Right. And Source, I had those replica Nikes on for literally 4 hours.
Preserved.
But so you make a valid point. Guys, did you hear? And welcome to the show. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show.
Right.
Team. You know what it is. DJ Hot Sauce, Miss Shade is in the building. Shout out to SennyJ, Miss Miko. They're not available today.
That's right.
But Sauce, guys, did you hear what Hot Sauce said? He said in the jewelry store, they got replica jewelry store in the jewelry store.
What do you think they wear at these BET awards and everything? I don't believe there's no way that you was, not saying it's not possible, but you're not going to put millions of dollars on your neck to rent. Then you have to give it back? I don't see it.
And Sauce, everybody, follow my man DJ Hot Sauce, man. One of the best DJs in the game. And I'm not saying that because he's my brother. I'm saying that because when he gets on that ones and twos, he's gonna bust your ass. Pause. Without the baby oil. Without the baby oil. He's gonna bust your ass without the baby oil.
That's right. This is not a Diddy party. That's right.
And
so
don't you know that the football player Ocho Cinco, what's his name? The Princess, what's his name? Ocho Cinco. I forgot. Chad something. I forgot his name.
Chad something. Yeah.
Don't you know that he said throughout his football career, he wore nothing but fake jewelry the whole time?
It's the truth. This is what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
a wise man told me you gotta fake it to make it.
Right. And Nike, you should be ashamed of yourself. Pay your little $1 billion tariffs. You sitting there making products that only cost $6 to $7 because the Chinese government already exposed your punk ass. Now you're complaining that you gotta get taxed $1 billion from the Trump administration. But you want to make your shoe for $6 and have us pay $300 for them. I'm going back to Market Street in Newark, New Jersey, and cop me a pair of $35 Air Force Ones, and I'm gonna wear them proudly. And y'all could kiss my ass. Pause.
That's right. Let them know. Absolutely. I'm with it. That's like people telling you, don't play R. Kelly no more. Get out of here. You crazy? It's crazy.
All right.
I don't think so.
Hey, Sauce, man, we love you, man. You already know.
Thank you, bro. I love you too, man.
Oh, wait. Okay, I'm gonna holler at you. Miss Shade, everybody, let's clap. Miss Shade is back in the building. And let's give it up for hold on, Miss Shade, before we get into it. And let's give it up for her fake living room in the background. Let's give it up for her. Hey, Rel Holler's on the building. Rel.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, Princess in the chat room talking about I'm bugging right now.
No, listen, you know what the real problem is? You know why this is even a discussion? Urban community, we put too much importance on material objects. The urban community, like we first of all, we spend the most money, like as far as shopping, and we still have the least. Like when you look at some of these rich people, they don't like. Some of them don't even care about the brand names, the labels, none of that stuff. And it's like I started realizing, like, you know what? I'm not. The clothes don't make me. I make the clothes, right. So I can shop anywhere, and I'm gonna make it look good. It don't need to be $1,000 on my back. I could buy something and I could look like it. I could look like it's $1,000. I go to Zara. I go to H&M. I go to all the spots where I know I could get if I got to dress up, I go right to Zara. I go to spots where I could look clean. I could look nice. And ain't nobody saying nothing. Don't nobody even care. As long as you ain't coming in there stinking and looking sloppy, nobody cares. Because I've pulled the same way a dude is sitting there with thousands of dollars of jewelry and he got Louis and Gucci on and he popping bottles. I'll probably bag the same woman he bagged just off a conversation.
Right.
Just off a conversation.
You know what, Rel, you bring up, Michelle, where did you go? You know what, Rel, you bring up valid points here. Why us African Americans, the marketplace, we have to outshine each other. It's more like a people-pleasing thing. We have to represent all these brands that don't give a damn about us. There's no African American or people of our color on these boards of directors at all, other than I think Pharrell is on the board of Louis Vuitton. But Rel, you make definitely a valid point. Why are we doing the most with the least?
Right. Like we have, it's like seeing somebody with 2025 M3 in the projects. Yeah. Like it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You so caught up in I got a Beamer in the project. Like it makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like honestly, the whole tariff thing, I'm like, good. Like, all right, even China Exposed, they making luxury. They making Louis and Gucci, and that's what y'all buying. Yeah. And they got y'all believing that. They got us believing that Louis and Gucci got us believing that, we make our clothes. And they made in China.
Yes.
They exposed it. It's crazy. So it's like, what are we doing this for? Like, who, like, because it can't be, it's nowhere in the world that we keep going like this.
Yes.
And this is even why these kids, that these YNs, they out here, they act crazy. Why they act crazy? Because they want to impress. So they want to rob and steal and they doing all this stuff so they could buy these things to show off, right? Or they robbing people because he got thousands of dollars of jewelry on, right? Like you said, you hear so busy trying to buy the real stuff, and the celebrities that really got the money is buying fake stuff.
Yeah,
I even know somebody, quiet as kept. I know somebody. Puffy was wearing fake jewelry. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we do this, and it's sad because it's like this is the culture, and it's not even considered. This ain't even culture. This is not. I don't even want to call it culture, but like this is what our community has just. We made these things so important, and it's really like not important at all.
Right, and this.
It's really,
let me stop for a second. Everybody, let's clap for Rel Holla for valid points. Welcome to the show, any place on earth where you get your morning started right. We cooking this morning on the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. We got our special guest, Miss Shade. We're going to chop it up with her for a few minutes. But Rel, I want to say one more thing. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to give you the last word. With Nike making an announcement saying that they will have to pay $1 billion in tariffs because of the Trump administration, guys, read between the lines. That gives you the green light to go out there and replica your ass off. Because if Nike needs to pay $1 billion on products that 70% of their products are made in China, they have to pay this. They're going to trickle it down to the customer. So now for your Air Force Ones or whatever shoes or apparels you wear, you're going to have to pay $5 to $10 more to wear that brand. Why would you do that? Because you're paying their bill. You might as well go down the block to Mei Ling and them, get you a pair of $35 Air Force Ones and keep it pushing.
seriously.
Rel, talk to me before we get to Miss Shade.
Listen. That Nike, why you out here wearing that Nike Tech? You know that Nike Tech suit, a real Nike Tech suit, that is $300.
Wow.
For that Nike Tech suit. So that all these little YNs that you see out here running around with the Pooh Shiesty mask on and the Nike Tech outfit, that is $300. Tell you right now, I go to Tom, Dick, and Harry's. Yeah. I go to Snipes. Yeah. I got a sweatsuit. Paid all of $80.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a pair of Fleezies. I call them Fleezies because I bought them off. They look just like the Yeezys, and Yeezy ain't even. And now that's crazy too, because Kanye ain't even with Adidas no more. So if you buying those Adidas at top price, you're dumb, because he ain't even with Adidas. I saw the Dominican dude. He had a pair of them joints, the black joints that look just. I looked up the picture. I said these look exactly alike. $80. I'm good. Everybody else spending $200.
Rel, I'm gonna clap for you. All right, Rel, listen.
All right, God bless everybody. Have a blessed weekend.
Yo, that's the one and only Rel Holla. Rel, much love. Everybody, once again, she's back in the building for a Feel Good Friday. She got the fake living room popping. We see the couch in the back. We see what you got? You got the fireplace. You got the couch. You got the end table. Your clap for Miss Shade. She's in Colorado right now at a resort.
Thank
Miss
you.
Shade, God bless you. Good morning. You already know what we talk. You already know what we're talking about. Miss Shade.
I was join the chat. That's why I was going in and out, because it was saying join the chat, but it looks like, because I see somebody said good morning and I was trying to respond, but it say I have to sign in and do all of that stuff. So I got to do that another time.
Well, first of all, good morning, and how you doing, young lady?
Okay.
Now, a bunch of us, we're not doing the $1 billion. We're not paying Nike's tariff bill, because they made an announcement that they're going to mark up their merchandise $5 to $10 per item, and they also said that they were trying to phase out the Air Force One sneaker because they wanted to focus more on running shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Shade, first question. Have you ever purchased anything replica in your life? but before you answer that, I'll answer mine for me. Yes,
Okay.
I'll give myself 14 number ones. Go ahead, Miss Shade.
I would say yes. Yes. But you know what? I'm not really I don't really go overboard financially on all the name brand stuff like that. I've never been a big high name brand type of girl. I even own a Gucci pocketbook now, but my daughter bought that for me for my 45th birthday. That wasn't something I would have went and bought, but her and my son pitched in and they got that for me for my 45th birthday. I'm a simple girl. I like old school stuff. I still like Guess. I still like Coach. I like things with colors. I like things that you can see the brand, even though people feel like that stuff is like out of, it's out of the loop now. But I'm still like very old school. So I don't spend a lot of money on name brand stuff like that.
Well, good. Well, good for you.
No.
Good for it. And you just heard what Rel said. He said the world famous P. Diddy was out there wearing fake jewelry. Exactly. You don't, guys, I'm telling you right now, you don't have to. Nike has made it clear to all of us that there's a $1 billion tariff bill that they have to pay. And they're marking up their prices so you and I can pay for it. Why am I going to do that? I'm headed to Canal Street, guys. I'm headed to Canal. If you see pictures of me, yeah, question it. Yeah. If you see me with a Gucci belt, Louis Vuitton belt, you know it's a replica belt, and y'all can kiss my ass.
Yeah. But you know what? I heard a celebrity also say one time that they don't even really pay for jewelry. Sometimes when they go into these jewelry stores or some of these jewelry establishments give them jewelry to promote, to bring people to them, and they're not the ones who's actually buying it. So it's a lot of skit scans and getting money, because I've heard a celebrity say that some jewelry jeweler, what do you say it? Jewelry.
Yeah, jewelers,
sometimes give them jewelry just to promote for them, for people to come to their shop and then to their store, and then they actually charge them the money for them to buy the jewelry. So it's a whole lot of scams out of here with stuff.
See, so look, there's Miss Shade just made some interesting points as well. Listen, guys, I don't know. This announcement has changed my life because I purchased replica stuff. I'm not even gonna lie. I purchased replica items. I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna let y'all know what it is. Mm-hmm. But because they made that announcement at $1 billion and they're marking up all their prices that are already marked up already, Harvey's out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Market Street in Newark. I'm going down to Canal Street. If I need a pair of Air Force Ones, I'm paying $30, $40 for my Air Force Ones. And you get what they used to say back in the day. Only God can judge me, guys.
Yeah. And guess what? I feel like this. If you are a person that they know that you dress decent, their expectations for you that you're not a bum person, I don't think people are really focusing if it's real or fake or not on you, because when you wear something and you can look good in it and they just think you're a decent type of person, I don't think too many people will study it. So you're gonna get away with it anyway. So
exactly. That's exactly, and it's all about your presentation anyway in life. You got to come in with your face washed and your teeth brushed. You got to wash your ass when you come outside.
And the way my stomach's set up, I can't wear tucked in shirts to get a belt. So
say that again.
I no Louis Vuitton. The way my stomach is tucked up, the way my stomach is set up, I can't afford to wear no shirt tucked in to try to promote a belt. So that stuff to me is, that stuff is out. It don't work for me. So try to promote something and represent certain brands and stuff. I don't know, unless you got a little signal here or a little, something, but the way you gotta wear stuff so people know what you got on, that ain't gonna work for me. That's out.
Well, thank you for sharing. Listen, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team, only place on earth where you get your morning start. Right, special guest this morning is the one and only, the hilarious Miss Shay from Paterson, New Jersey. Miss Shay, how did you get into the comedy game? I know it's the same questions you asked me. We all ask the same questions. How did you get into the game, Miss Shay? Before we get back to this news.
You know what? I'm just like you. I've always been like a class clown. I've always been the person that stands out with the great humor. What happened was, before I knew about the word viral, I used to go on Facebook years ago. I would say like maybe like 2016, 15, and I would do videos. And I would just be talking about reality stuff that people was going through, about, just different things. And my videos was going viral back then. I mean, people was laughing, cracking up, and this is before I knew about anything about the word viral. And when my videos started going viral, there was a lady who did a podcast, a radio show, in a factory in Paterson, that asked me to come on her show, and she wanted me to be the icebreaker because they would talk about different topics, but she wanted me to be the one to come in with like a little comedy part, or bring the humor to the show. So when I got on her show, I started getting more out there, and then I was doing this, and then I was doing that, and then people was inboxing me, and then I did my first comedy show at this factory. It was a small event, and it wasn't a comedy show, but I went there to do comedy. And ever since then, in 2016, I just started building myself, and people just started booking me. I started hosting. I've always been into hosting. I started hosting events. Then I just started getting booked with, people asking me to do comedy. I did a comedy show here in Paterson at the Masonic Temple. I brought the whole city out. That was my first time ever really getting on like a stage. And it just started from there. After that, people just started seeing me, and they was just booking me for hosting or doing comedy. I never did any open mics. I never used to go to any comedy shows. I guess I just stood out with my sense of humor, talking about reality stuff, making people laugh. Like I said, I'm from the old school, so I still have that old school stuff where I talk about in my comedy when we used to have stereos on the side of our beds with CD players and, things like that. So I just think because I still have like an old soul with great humor, that kind of attracted people to me. And I've always had a great humor in high school. And and every time my family come or people come around, or I would notice when I look back how people will always say, when they invite me places, they would be like, "Oh, we need you there. We need you there. You the life of the party. You the da." And it never dawned on me that people really see me as the life of the party, even though I know I would get around family and friends and make them laugh. But it was so natural that when I look back, I'm like, wow, I've always been the life of the party. So I guess that's just how it just went for me. And like I said, eventually I just started getting booked from people seeing me just regular hosting events. And it could be a wedding reception, and I'll bring like a joke in, or a private party, and I bring a joke in, and then I started getting books for private birthday parties. So to be honest with you, Shawn, it just spins for me, and I'm here.
Yes. Yeah, you guys, good morning. Welcome to the show. Only place on earth where you get your morning start, right? Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team, with our special guest, the one and only, the hilarious Miss Shay. Yeah, so you got into the comedy game in the untraditional way. Mm-hmm. You got in the comedy game backwards, mm-hmm. which is nothing wrong with that. You came in through, like, you got off at the other exit.
Yeah.
And you got into the game and you started doing little events. But at the same time, you said you was doing your videos and they were going viral. But at the same time, with one thing I do appreciate about you is your energy. The people gravitate towards you. Your community comes out and show you love because of the person that you are. So, but between I guess the combination of you doing videos, doing your little funny skits, and people gravitating towards you was that perfect combination for you to enter into the comedy game, which also is sometimes a safe haven for a newer comedian because you're around your supporters. And then that's when you step out into comedy. Into the cold abyss of stand-up comedy, where now you start to go around the region and you meet other comedians, and now you performing in front of people you don't know,
right?
That are future supporters.
And that's where I was trying to figure out when people always ask me about the comedy, because I feel like I came through another gate of coming to the up, the out front of being a comedian, to where as though, people see me and they also connect to my energy. And the thing is with me is I love people. So I've always been like a girl power type of female, just period, throughout my life. I always love engaging with people. I'm a people's person. I'm too much of a people's person. But I think people enjoy that I have a natural energy with a great sense of humor, that when people are around me, they always feel safe with me. So I think that also helped a lot of connection too, and I've never been like a girl who really had beef with people. I've always been a people's person. I've always been easy to get along with. So I think also too, I have a lot of people from my high school who I went to high school with, who I grew up with, in the project settings, that's like already my fans, because they already know me from that personality too, and just being funny tea, as they will call me, back in the day. But the thing is, I enjoy it. It's just that now that I'm out in this field, and when I'm getting booked, that's why sometimes I'll be like, cause like I said, I never really had practice. So every stage I get on, sometimes it feels new to me because I've never watched comedy shows. I've never used to go to comedy shows. So everything that I'm doing in the comedy land, I'm learning and growing while doing it, from just walking in this path that I feel like God just wanted me to present my gift. So I'm still learning and growing. So even how you broke it down to me, Shawn, that was a great way to let me hear from your perspective how you see how I got out there in the comedy world. Because sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. Besides me knowing I do have the natural gift of laughter, but I don't know how I'm spinning.
Well, first of all, thanks for your, because that's a very vulnerable moment that you just shared right now. That opens up that shell to anything that we do in life, to just let folks know, like, hey, listen, I got into this realm and I'm in it, and now I'm trying to find my way around it. And that's why they always say the stupidest question is the one you don't ask. So now that you shared that, and we know a lot of us comedians are here to help you as you help us find that path to where you need to be in stand-up comedy. And one thing about her, guys, Miss Shade is a beautiful young lady, definitely a great spirit, and she's funny. So I want y'all to follow her and follow her path through her funny. Now we're gonna get back to that in a minute. Jeff Bezos, Jeff Bezos, our friendly billionaire that owns Amazon. He's worth $226.7 billion. And he married Maria, what's her name? Let me get her name. Lauren Sanchez. They've been dating for a minute. She used to work on the television shows and all that. And they got married in Venice, in Italy. Or they're getting married. They have a whole weekend extravaganza with all the millionaires and billionaires coming to the bill. And this is like the event of the events. And the people of Venice in the town are complaining because Jeff Bezos done shut the whole town down. He rented out everything. When you a billionaire like that, you rent out everything.
You can.
I don't know if they got a prenup or not, but I'm for sure they did. But at 20 of $226 billion.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm gonna get married at 20. Now, if I'm a married man right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if $226 billion land on my lap,
Oh wow.
I'm with my wife. I'm chilling. I'm good.
She gonna love that.
Yeah, we're gonna love that. We're gonna live this life, and we're gonna carry the whole thing. But I'm not gonna make no changes as far as a relationship status because I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was in a relationship and I had a girlfriend,
Right.
and 226 billion drop on the lap, I'm getting out of there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I want my wife, like I just said, let me repeat myself, that's a different issue. 26 billion, 226 billion drop on the lap, honey, let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do what we can do to make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Girlfriend?
Would you go open your own comedy club?
Nah, no. I'll still run the circuit. I'll still do what I'm doing.
Okay, that's smart.
But if I don't know if that has to do with status as far as a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Shade, I'll be honest with you. If I was in a regular relationship, and no disrespect to the women that I'm with,
Mm-hmm.
if I was in a girlfriend boyfriend kind of that mode,
mm-hmm.
but at $226 billion, I gotta get out of there.
Yeah,
I gotta go because I know me.
Okay.
We got this. There's more sampling to do.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about De La Soul music.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm single, you know what it is. Will I get, if I'm single and will I remarry at $226 billion? No. No.
You better not. You better not. Because these women are on it now. They on it. That money will be dropping before you know it. You will wish you had one steady wife.
Miss Shade, if Jeff Bezos came through and he was single and you were single, like, yo, what's going on, Miss Shade?
What's up, Jeff?
you gonna holler at Jeff?
What's up, Jeff? I'm right here, Jeff. Don't look no further, Jeff.
I think, God bless Jeff. And I think money has nothing to do with it, of course. You know what I'm saying? If you're in love, you're in love. If whatever financial situation you are in your life, I guess, right? I mean, but I think $226.7 billion, it's got to be a prenup on that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
And they have this extravagant wedding, as they should, as a billionaire. This is a man that owns Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
That money coming through every day. Mm-hmm. That money coming through every 6 seconds. Probably make a couple of $1 million a minute.
He definitely seen a lot of my money.
And definitely saw a lot of mine. Now, Miss Shade, I got married right here where I live in my backyard. Okay. I got married in the backyard. Me and my wife, we had a nice, my wife and I, we had a nice ceremony. It was real dope. It was a small wedding. My man Hot Sauce was there. He was DJing and a few others. Mm-hmm. And it was an intimate, loving situation. And we cut costs. I'm not going to even lie to you, Miss Shade. Mm-hmm. We saved that money to do something else with that money. Mm-hmm. We didn't spend the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on the wedding. Mm-hmm. Our wedding literally cost about $2,500.
Okay. And look, y'all still together. Y'all still together. That means y'all understand the value of money. And being in a marriage, that's the first thing you want to make sure your partner understand. When times get low, we can't afford things, you got to know how we about to eat. So
and Miss Shea, God bless my wife. She said, she was the one who said it. She was straight up, we're not spending all this money. She said, we are not doing this. This is the plan. This is what I think we should do. And the more she talked about it, the more it made sense.
Yeah.
Spending 10,000, 20,000, that's a low end for weddings. Everybody in the chat room, y'all give me a round of applause. My wedding was $36. Y'all clap for me.
Not $36. $36, and how many years later y'all together?
We just celebrated our 4th anniversary.
Nice.
But we've been together for less than 6 years.
Okay.
So God bless. Guys, if you ever got married in the chat room, how much money did you spend in that thing? Let us know. I want to know. And if let us know if you're still together or not. And God bless. Miss Shade, let me ask you this question. Now, coming into the comedy game, not the part where you had that sanctuary of support. I'm talking about the part when you came outside into comedy and you started doing stand-up with all the rest of us. I always ask this question to comedians, I think it's very important, on a Feel Good Friday. When was that moment in your career where you was like, you know what, I'm funny and I belong here? I'm funny. I tell you, and I always ask the question because that happened to me years back. I got on stage and I say this, I ask the same question, I give the same example. I got on stage way back in the day, right? There was a comedian that was hilarious, but he had to leave and go to another show. So he had to go on first and I had to go on after him. But this man was hilarious. But he went on, he did his job, and then Miss Shade, I went on after him and I performed just as well as he did. And when I walked off the stage, I thought to myself, because it was a very gratifying feeling, I said, I belong in this game. Had nothing to do with out-funnying anybody. It just had I felt like I belonged because of the way I performed after this legit comedian that's hilarious. When was that moment that you thought, like, in these recent years you've been doing stand-up, not at a show that you produce or any one of your friends, you were outside the game doing regular stand-up. When was that moment you was like, you know what, I think I could do this?
You know what? It was actually a few times when this one woman came to me and she said, "You are hilarious." She said, "You are so natural." She said, "You remind me of a Richard Pryor." When she said the name Richard Pryor, it was just something about Richard Pryor, because I always have heard that Richard Pryor was like a great legend in the comedy game. And it was when I had to go look on YouTube to hear some of Richard Pryor. And I just think, like, when women pull me to the side and say, "Oh my God, you are so hilarious. You are so relatable." And even when they bring back the joke that I say, that they feel like it's so relatable that they can relate to. So when I started getting that encouragement from just people pulling me to the side, and one time I did a comedy show and this guy said, "Where you been? What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Miss Shade." And he was like, "Well, what's your real name?" And I was like, "Tawana." And he was like, "Wow, I kind of like Tawana for you on stage." But he was like, "Where you've been? How long have you been doing comedy?" So when I tell people that, I'm like, I've had a few runs, since 2016. But when I really started getting, like, people really started booking me, was like right after the pandemic, out of nowhere. And that's why I'm like, I'm really trying to still figure, my way out there, because I'm like, I haven't had any experience with even having open mics. Now I'm like, should I go start open mics just to keep getting myself more familiar, in the game, so I can. And one thing about me, I'm a Virgo. So with me being a Virgo, I always critique myself. It's a certain look I want. I'm learning now and more in comedy to hear the laughs, letting people enjoy me more, just that presentation. So I'm still trying to mold myself. I'm still trying to mold myself into, and the thing is too, Shawn, I write a lot. Sometimes I feel like I could be a back writer. I write extremely a lot, to the point that some of the things I write, I don't even use. because my mind just expand. I can't really explain myself. That's why I'm
Well,
still trying to learn what is this thing about me. And with comedy, is that natural? That's why I love to go watch other shows. I love to go watch other people. I like to talk to people like you who's been in the game, who's a GOAT in the game, who kind of know, because I want to hear different experience, because I don't want to feel confused. I just want to know, is my way the right way? Like, I don't know.
well, guys, the one and only Miss Shade is on deck, and thanks again for sharing your vulnerability this morning and your honesty. And we are
Mhm.
all here to help you. Yeah, I would suggest doing a few open mics, getting some reps, because the open mics they might fit better in your time schedule.
Mhm.
You know, because open mics are usually from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and you could do open mics anywhere in your community in your area. And then also, you know, and when you got time to come on out and you know, do stand up in front of an audience at a book show. um I think you should do that. You should do some open mic and get as and see if you can get out into the into the comedy community more than often if you can.
Yeah. And
I think that.
even with inviting you to my show, that was actually my third year. The place I had it at for the first 2 years was overpacked, where people was bringing their own personal chairs to sit in the spot that I had. So I was
Yo,
kind of scared to expand this year where I went at, because I was like, okay, this year I need a bigger venue. Because my first 2 years, Shawn, I'm telling you, people were bringing their own chairs to sit to come see me do comedy.
and you
And
know
that's
what? And you know
mhm,
what? And I think that because of that as well, you have a leg up with your support in your community, which is truly a blessing, no question about it. Uh, yeah, and you might be in that phase as well where you can promote your own shows, obviously, and you can keep that going. Don't ever stop that. If the community is showing you love and you got great momentum because you're a great person, continue to produce comedy shows, because what it does is obviously you're doing your own show. It gives you your own sanctuary. You get your own mic time, and you also can feed the game with other comedians by booking them.
I
Uh,
just want to be able to do more though, because I feel like doing different comedy shows sometimes, is a way you gotta kind of, I don't know. I'm just trying to grow myself. So I'm trying to figure out, when I am doing my own comedy shows, the whole goal is, how do I grow myself to get myself out there? Because I want more people to know me. I want more people in the world to get to know me as well. So I'm just figuring out how to try to grow, myself. I have already branded myself. My brand is No Shade But Shade. It's trademark. I have a clothing line as well. I have a podcast, Shady Talk Wednesday, that I'm on every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So I'm just trying to continue to brand myself and find that outlet where people are going to get to know me more and connect with me more and say, oh, that's that girl. That's Miss Shade. So that's why I have a lot of things up under my belt too, because I'm also trying to grow in my vision. And I'm trying to see which way, with me growing in my vision, is going to take me where I'm trying to get to.
Well, you know, one of those ways, like I said, yeah, you got to come outside. You have to come out. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You're a grown ass woman, but you have to come outside. You have to get in. You have to inject yourself into the circuit. You have to literally jump in faith into the circuit, and I think that will get you obviously where you. I think it'll get you where you need to be. All right, listen, guys, let's give a round of applause to Miss Shade. Jesus Christ. And you know what? They have so much love for you in the chat room, and we ran out of time again. Miss
It's okay.
Shade, if you don't mind, I'm going to reach out to you very soon. We want to have you back because the folks in the chat room are definitely showing you definitely an overwhelming amount of love.
And tell them they can follow me at Tawana L. Warner on Facebook. That's Tawana L. Warner. And if you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Shady Entertainment 920. And also Shady Talk Wednesdays on YouTube podcast. I would love to have some more people that I could connect with and that can connect with me.
Gotcha. We truly appreciate you. And guys, I'm actually on her podcast. When is the podcast airing?
It's here now. All they have to do is go to YouTube and watch Shady Talk Wednesday podcast, Aaron Shawn Harvey.
Yo, guys, you just heard her. I did an interview with Miss Shade, and it's on YouTube right now. What's the podcast channel?
Shady Talk Wednesday.
Shady Talk Wednesdays. We did it the other day. And guys, check out that interview. I'm for sure you will enjoy it. Miss Shade, we do appreciate you. We're going to have you back.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this.
I really, and thank you so much for your patience. You know what I'm saying? Because I know yesterday we ran over the time, but I'm glad that we had the opportunity for you to come. Truly blessed that you had the opportunity to come back to the show. And before we get out of here, I just want to say this, guys. Step your replica game up. I'm not paying Nike's $1 billion tariff bill because they're marking up their prices. And you shouldn't as well. Get your bootleg game up. It's 2025. It's real in these streets.
Old school is the best way.
Gotcha. All right, guys, we truly appreciate you. And guys, when Sister Soldier put the hearts in the chat room, let's all follow along with her with the hearts in the chat room. Listen, guys, we see you Monday. God bless. Miss Shay, we definitely going to have you back. And I'll call you later on the day to chop it up if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's give a shout out to Miss Shade, replica living room behind her. Yo, how ironic is it? We talking about replica items, and Miss Shade got a replica living room in the background. Let's clap for that, which validates everything that I've been saying. All right, guys, we out. We'll see you Monday. Be safe. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. We are out.
Thank you.
No doubt.